You know that moment when you suddenly can't remember your grandchild's name and your heart just sinks? Or when you spend half the morning looking for your glasses only to find them on your head? And then that worry creeps in. Could this be the beginning of something more serious? Today, I want to share some hopeful news with you. While there's no magic cure that makes dementia disappear overnight, there are simple, delicious foods sitting right on our kitchen tables that can help protect our brain cells and maintain our memory. I'm talking about fruits. Sweet, refreshing fruits that do so much more than just taste good. I've spent over 30 years as a physician researching aging and dementia prevention. Today, I'm going to walk you through 5 specific fruits that science has shown can make a real difference for brain health. Some might surprise you because they're so ordinary. Others you might not eat often. But every single one has solid scientific evidence backing up its brain-protecting powers. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which fruits to eat, when to eat them, and how to make them part of your daily routine. This isn't just information. This is a practical roadmap you can start using today to protect your most precious asset, your mind. And the most powerful fruit on this list? I'm saving that for later in the video, so stay with me. If you find this helpful, please hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. Sharing knowledge about dementia prevention could help someone you love, and that makes all the difference. Let me start with something that happened just a few days ago in my clinic. A patient told me, "Doctor, lately, I've been forgetting my grandson's name out of nowhere. It scares me." You know what I recommended? Blueberries. Now, blueberries used to feel like an exotic, expensive fruit, but these days you can find them at any grocery store or farmer's market. Here's what most people don't know. These tiny purple berries pack an incredible punch when it comes to protecting your brain. The secret is a compound called anthocyanin. It's what gives blueberries their beautiful color. But more importantly, it's a powerful antioxidant. Think of it as a cleanup crew that goes through your body removing harmful molecules called free radicals. Your brain cells are especially vulnerable to this kind of damage, and anthocyanins help shield them. This isn't just theory. Harvard Medical School conducted a study with over 1,600 people aged 70 and older. They found that those who regularly ate blueberries experienced much slower cognitive decline compared to those who didn't. In other words, simply eating blueberries consistently can help maintain your memory and judgment. But there's more. Blueberries also improve blood flow to the brain, which means better concentration and less mental fatigue. In today's world, with constant news, smartphones, and television, our brains are exhausted. Blueberries are like a natural energy boost for your mind. You don't need much, just a handful a day. About 20 to 30 berries is plenty. Frozen blueberries work great too. Toss them in yogurt, sprinkle them on salad, or just eat them straight from the container. One thing to watch: if you have diabetes, don't overdo it. Blueberries aren't high in sugar, but moderation is always important with fruit. What makes blueberries special is that they're one of the rare plant foods that work directly on brain cells. Most antioxidants help your whole body, but blueberries specifically target inflammation in the brain. That's why they stand out. The best part? They're easy to stick with. Affordable, simple to store, delicious to eat. If you can just make it a habit, like having them after meals as a little dessert, you'll enjoy the taste while giving your brain exactly what it needs. No pills required. Now, speaking of powerful fruits, did you know there's another one that's just as impressive for brain health? The next fruit I want to tell you about is exceptional for protecting the blood vessels in your brain. If you've noticed your blood pressure going up and down, or if you often feel heaviness in your head, you'll definitely want to pay attention to this one. When you think of grapes, you probably think of summer picnics, or maybe a glass of wine with dinner. But here's something you might not know. Grapes have a deep connection to brain health, especially when it comes to slowing down memory loss and keeping the blood vessels in your brain strong. Grapes contain a special compound called resveratrol. It's concentrated in the skin of red grapes, and it's an incredibly strong antioxidant. Think of it as rust prevention for your brain. It stops your brain cells from deteriorating as you age, and as we get older, our brain cells become more and more vulnerable to this kind of damage, which is why antioxidants like resveratrol become so important. Resveratrol also reduces inflammation in the brain and keeps your blood vessels flexible and healthy. When blood vessels in the brain get blocked or narrow, that's often the beginning of memory problems and dementia. So eating grapes regularly is like giving your brain's blood vessels a tune-up. Now, grapes do contain natural sugars, so you don't want to eat too many at once. About a third of a bunch per day or just a handful is plenty. And here's an important tip. Eat them with the skin on. That's where most of the resveratrol is. If the skin bothers you, throw them in a blender and make a smoothie. Just remove the seeds first. They're hard to digest. Some of you might be thinking, what about wine? It's true that red wine contains resveratrol, and you've probably heard good things about wine and heart health. But alcohol is a toxin, plain and simple. It can damage brain cells, so eating grapes themselves is much safer and more effective than drinking wine. Here's something else interesting. Grapes don't just help with memory, they can also reduce stress. Research shows that the natural sugars and antioxidants in grapes help calm down an overexcited brain caused by stress. When you're feeling anxious or irritable, slowly chewing a few grapes might actually help you feel more relaxed. These days, grapes come in different colors: green, purple, dark red, almost black. The color comes from different types of antioxidants, and the general rule is this: the darker the grape, the stronger the antioxidant effect. So if you're shopping for brain health, reach for those deep purple or black grapes first. Grapes are wonderful for keeping the blood vessels in your brain healthy and protecting your mind from stress. As long as you stick to a reasonable amount each day, you're giving your brain a natural way to stay young without taking any medication. The next fruit I want to share might surprise you. Most people think of it as a vegetable, but it's actually classified as a fruit. And it's exceptional at preventing brain cell aging. Here's the key. When you eat it with a little bit of fat or oil, its benefits multiply. Remember that. Most people call tomatoes a vegetable, but technically, they're a fruit. And here's what many folks don't realize. Tomatoes play a huge role in protecting brain health. Today, I want to tell you about the hidden power in these bright red, juicy fruits and how they protect your memory and thinking skills. The secret ingredient in tomatoes is called lycopene. It's the natural pigment that makes tomatoes red, and it's also an incredibly powerful antioxidant. In simple terms, it removes the free radicals in your body that age and damage your cells. Brain cells are especially sensitive to this kind of stress, so lycopene is a big help in keeping your brain healthy. There's real science behind this. A large study in Finland found that people with low blood levels of lycopene had a much higher risk of stroke. What this tells us is that eating lycopene-rich foods like tomatoes regularly can help prevent problems with blood vessels in the brain, and that can lower your dementia risk. Here's something really interesting about tomatoes. Your body absorbs lycopene much better when you eat it with fat. Lycopene is fat-soluble, which means it dissolves in oil. So, instead of eating raw tomatoes by themselves, try sautéing them lightly in olive oil, or tossing them in a salad with a little dressing. That's why you see tomatoes and olive oil together so often in Mediterranean cooking. It's not just tradition, it's smart nutrition, especially for your brain. Tomatoes also contain folate, vitamin C, and potassium, which means they do more than just fight oxidation. They help keep your neurotransmitters balanced. In other words, they help your brain send and receive information more smoothly. How much should you eat? 1 or 2 medium-sized tomatoes a day is plenty. If you prefer cherry tomatoes, a handful, about 10, is a good amount. You can eat them raw or lightly cooked. Both are fine. Just don't overcook them into a thick sauce, because you'll lose some of the water-soluble nutrients, even though the lycopene survives. In the summer, try keeping tomatoes in the fridge and eating them cold as a snack. They're refreshing when you're tired from the heat, and they give your brain and body a lift without any added sugar. Tomatoes are affordable, easy to find, and you can enjoy them in so many ways. Whether it's a slice with breakfast or a snack between meals, adding tomatoes to your routine is a simple, effective way to slow down brain aging. Now here's something fascinating. Some of the fruits we eat every day actually create a bridge between the brain and the gut. Did you know your brain and your gut are deeply connected? The next fruit I'm about to share strengthens that connection. And that's more important than most people realize. You've probably heard the saying, "An apple a day keeps the doctor away." That saying didn't come from nowhere. Apples have been known as a health food for a very long time, and they really do have a wide range of benefits for the body. But when it comes to brain health and preventing dementia, apples are even more powerful than you might think. One of the key compounds in apples is called quercetin. It's a type of antioxidant that acts like a shield, protecting your brain cells from inflammation and oxidation. Quercetin is concentrated in the skin of the apple, so it's important to wash your apple well and eat it with the peel on. That peel you usually throw away? It's hiding a treasure that protects your brain. Quercetin doesn't just protect brain cells. It also improves blood circulation in the brain and helps nerve cells communicate more effectively. As we age, the connections between nerve cells weaken, so this kind of support is really important for maintaining memory. Here's another important benefit. Apples are excellent for gut health. They contain a type of fiber called pectin, which feeds the good bacteria in your intestines. Now, your gut isn't just for digestion. It's often called the second brain because it's directly connected to your actual brain. Research shows that when your gut is healthy, your mood stabilizes and your focus improves. So apples are a 2-for-1 deal. They take care of your gut and your brain at the same time. Apples also have a low glycemic index, which means they raise your blood sugar slowly. Rapid blood sugar spikes can stress your brain, so choosing a fruit that's low in sugar but still filling is really smart. Apples fit that description perfectly. They taste sweet, they're satisfying to bite into, and chewing them actually stimulates your brain. How much is enough? 1 medium apple a day is plenty. Eating an apple first thing in the morning on an empty stomach is especially good. It wakes up your digestive system and gives your brain a boost of energy. You can also have one as a snack between meals when you're feeling hungry. Just be sure to wash the apple thoroughly under running water, or choose organic if you can, to avoid pesticides. These days, there are so many varieties of apples. Soft ones like Macintosh, crisp ones like Fuji, sweet ones like Gala. If you can, choose fresh apples that are in season. They'll have more nutrients and better flavor. And since you're eating the peel, pick apples that look clean. The best thing about apples? They're the easiest fruit to find. They're not expensive, they're available year-round, and you can eat them in so many ways. That makes it easy to stick with the habit. 1 apple a day can be a steady companion in your journey toward a healthier brain. The next fruit is a little more seasonal. It's tangy, refreshing, and we tend to reach for it more in the winter months. Along with vitamin C, it contains another nutrient your brain absolutely needs. And it does more than just prevent colds. It protects your brain cells too. When winter comes around, there's something so comforting about the smell of citrus filling the house. Sitting under a warm blanket, peeling an orange or a tangerine, maybe with your family around. Those are the moments that stick with us, aren't they? But here's what you might not know. Citrus fruits like oranges, tangerines, clementines, and grapefruits aren't just cozy winter snacks. They're also incredibly powerful for protecting your brain and keeping your memory strong. They contain 2 nutrients that your brain absolutely depends on. The first one is vitamin C. You probably already know about vitamin C. It's a powerful antioxidant that neutralizes free radicals, the molecules that damage brain cells. Your brain uses more oxygen than any other organ in your body, which means it's exposed to a lot of oxidative stress. When you get plenty of vitamin C, it protects your brain from that damage and helps you stay mentally sharp as you age. The second nutrient is folate. Most people think folate is just for pregnant women, but the truth is, it's essential for brain health at every age. Folate helps your brain produce neurotransmitters properly, and it slows down memory decline. Some research has shown that older adults with low folate levels experience faster cognitive decline. Citrus fruits are one of the few foods that give you both vitamin C and folate in one package. Here's something else that's really interesting. Citrus fruits can actually improve your mood. Ever notice how just peeling an orange makes you feel a little more awake and refreshed? That's not just in your head. The natural oils in the peel stimulate the mood regulation centers in your brain, which helps reduce stress and lift your spirits. That's especially helpful during the winter months when some people feel down or sluggish. How much should you eat? 2 or 3 tangerines a day, or 1 orange, is plenty. Don't overdo it, or you might get an upset stomach. If you have diabetes or need to watch your blood sugar, it's better to spread them out. Have one after a meal instead of eating several at once. And if you're eating small citrus fruits with thin peels, try to keep some of that white pith on the fruit when you peel it. That part contains flavonoids, another type of antioxidant that's great for your brain and blood vessels. Citrus fruits are also full of water, which helps you stay hydrated during the dry winter months. When your body gets dehydrated, your blood circulation slows down, and your brain doesn't get enough oxygen and nutrients. That can make it harder to focus and think clearly. So a couple of juicy oranges can actually make a big difference. Best of all, citrus fruits are so easy to find. In the winter, they're everywhere. Grocery stores, farmers markets, even corner stores. They're affordable, naturally sweet, and safe for almost everyone to eat. They don't spike your blood sugar too quickly, so people of all ages can enjoy them. So, there you have it. 5 incredible fruits: blueberries, grapes, tomatoes, apples, and citrus. But now you're probably wondering, how do I actually eat these fruits in the most effective way? When should I eat them? How much is too much? Let me answer those questions for you right now. Even the healthiest fruit won't do much good if you eat it the wrong way or at the wrong time. Just like medicine works differently depending on when and how you take it, the same is true for fruit. If you want to maximize the brain-boosting benefits, there are a few simple guidelines to follow. Let me walk you through them. First, timing matters. Your brain is most active in the morning, which means it absorbs nutrients best early in the day. That's why eating fruit around breakfast time is ideal. When you eat fruit on an empty stomach, your body absorbs the water, vitamins, and natural sugars quickly, giving your brain an immediate energy boost. Of course, if you have a sensitive stomach, eating fruit after a meal might be more comfortable for you. Second, think about the form of the fruit. A lot of people like to blend fruit into juice because it's convenient and tastes great. But if brain health is your goal, eating whole fruit is better. When you juice fruit, you remove the fiber and concentrate the sugar, which can cause your blood sugar to spike. Sharp blood sugar swings can actually stress your brain and hurt your focus. So whenever you can, eat the fruit whole and chew it. Chewing stimulates your brain too. Third, watch your portions. Just because something is healthy doesn't mean you should eat unlimited amounts. Fruit contains natural sugar, and eating too much can backfire. For most adults, 2 or 3 servings of fruit a day is about right. Each serving is roughly a handful. For example, you might have a handful of blueberries in the morning, half an apple after lunch, and a couple of tangerines as an evening snack. Fourth, mix and match your fruits. When you eat a variety of fruits, the different antioxidants and nutrients work together and amplify each other's effects. That's called synergy. For instance, eating blueberries with a banana gives you anthocyanins and magnesium, which together improve focus and stabilize your mood. Pairing apples with tomatoes is another great combination. Just don't eat too many types at once, or it might be hard on your digestion. 2 or 3 different fruits throughout the day is perfect. Fifth, pair fruit with healthy fats when it makes sense. Some nutrients, like the lycopene in tomatoes, are fat-soluble. That means your body absorbs them much better when you eat them with a little oil or fat. Try sautéing cherry tomatoes in olive oil, or having an apple with a small handful of nuts. Those combinations deliver both fat-soluble vitamins and antioxidants to your brain in one shot. And here's the most important thing: consistency. Eating a huge amount of fruit one day won't suddenly make your brain healthier or prevent dementia. What matters is eating a little bit every single day. That's how you build a habit that really works. It's like brushing your teeth. You do it every day to protect them. Your brain needs the same kind of daily care. One more tip: you can freeze or dry fruit to make it last longer. Blueberries and grapes freeze really well and keep most of their nutrients. Just pull them out and eat them straight from the freezer. Dried fruit is fine too, but remember, it's much more concentrated in sugar, so keep your portions small. The point is, eating fruit isn't just about putting it in your mouth. When you eat it, how much you eat, and what you eat it with all make a real difference in how well it protects your brain. But here's the thing: even the best fruit in the world can only do so much if the rest of your lifestyle is working against you. To truly keep your brain young and healthy, there are other habits you need to build alongside eating fruit. Let me tell you what those are. So far, we've talked about how blueberries, grapes, tomatoes, apples, and citrus fruits can do amazing things for brain health. But I need to be honest with you about something. If you eat all the right fruit but your daily habits are damaging your brain, those benefits are going to be cut in half. Fruit is one important piece of the puzzle. But to complete the picture, you need to take care of a few other things too. First and most important is exercise. Your brain isn't just for thinking. It's deeply connected to your whole body and how you move. Aerobic exercise, like walking, increases blood flow to the brain and delivers more oxygen and nutrients to your brain cells. Studies have shown over and over again that just 30 minutes of brisk walking a day can improve memory and focus. You're not exercising just to lose weight. You're exercising to keep your brain alive. Second is sleep. Sleep is not just rest. It's when your brain cleans itself and repairs damage. Everything you saw, heard, and felt during the day gets sorted and stored while you sleep. When you don't get enough sleep, your memory gets foggy, your focus weakens, and over time your dementia risk goes up. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night, and try to go to bed and wake up at the same time each day. And please, put the phone down and turn off the TV before bed. Those screens are exhausting for your brain. Third is staying socially connected. Talking to people and being around others constantly stimulates your brain. A conversation with another person uses your brain in ways that talking to yourself never will. Calling a close friend regularly, joining a community program, or attending a local senior center can have a huge protective effect against dementia. When you isolate yourself, your brain gets lonely. It stops receiving stimulation, and it starts to decline. Fourth is mental stimulation. Puzzles, writing, playing an instrument, reading, memorizing things. All of these activities strengthen the connections between your brain cells and slow down cognitive decline. Your brain is most active when it's learning something new. You don't stop learning when you're young. In fact, the older you get, the more important it is to keep learning. Fifth is managing stress. Chronic stress shrinks a part of your brain called the hippocampus, which is responsible for memory. It also weakens your cognitive function. You can't eliminate all stress, but you can definitely reduce it and manage it better. Try meditation, deep breathing, gentle walks, listening to music you love, or picking up a hobby. Find something that calms your mind and do it regularly. And finally, one more thing I really want to emphasize. Find meaning in your daily life. If every day just passes you by without purpose, your brain loses its spark. But if you have something small that you can control, something you enjoy and can focus on, your brain lights up again. It could be growing plants, writing letters to your grandchildren, or volunteering in your community. These activities stimulate different parts of your brain and keep it healthy. So, to sum it up, brain health doesn't depend on fruit alone. You need healthy eating combined with regular exercise, consistent sleep, strong relationships, continuous mental challenges, and good stress management. When all 6 of these things work together, that's when you can truly keep your mind clear and sharp for years to come. Now, knowing all of this is one thing, but actually doing it? That's where the real challenge begins. So, how do you take all these fruits and habits and fit them into your everyday life? Let me give you a concrete plan you can start using right away. Information by itself isn't enough. Your brain only responds when you take action. So, right now, I'm going to give you a very specific, week-long plan for brain health that anyone can follow. I've kept it simple, but effective. Let's start with your mornings. Your brain is most sensitive right after you wake up. If your blood sugar is too low, your focus and judgment suffer, and your mood can drop. Try this. On Monday, have half an apple with oatmeal. Tuesday, a handful of blueberries with plain yogurt. Wednesday, 1 tangerine with a tofu salad. Thursday, 1 tomato with a boiled egg. Friday, a handful of grapes with a small portion of nuts. Saturday, half an orange with a half bowl of brown rice. Sunday, an apple with unsweetened cereal. By rotating different fruits each morning, you're giving your brain fresh stimulation every single day. You don't need to eat a lot. A small amount, eaten consistently every day, is way more effective. For lunch and dinner, add fruit as a light dessert or as part of a salad. For example, at lunch, have a salad with cherry tomatoes and broccoli with an olive oil dressing. Then finish with 1 tangerine or orange. In the afternoon, between 2 and 4 p.m., your energy tends to dip. That's a great time for a snack. Try blueberries with unsweetened nuts, apple slices with a little peanut butter, or 1 tangerine with a cup of ginger tea. These combinations give your brain energy without spiking your blood sugar. Now, let's talk about habits beyond food. If you can do just these 3 things every day, your brain health will improve dramatically. Walk for 30 minutes every day. It doesn't have to be a workout. Just a stroll around your neighborhood or to the store is enough. Talk to someone every day. Family, friends, neighbors. Even a short conversation stimulates your brain. Learn something new every day. Read 1 page of a book, look up a short article, or learn a new word. When you combine these 3 habits with the fruit you're eating, the effects double. You're not just feeding your brain, you're actually using it and exercising it. And here's something really important. Do this with your family. When your whole family shares the same fruit, goes on walks together, and tests each other's memory as a game, it becomes so much easier and more enjoyable. The emotional connection you get from spending time with loved ones has a huge impact on brain health. Don't feel like you have to follow this plan perfectly. Even 1 small thing a day makes a difference. This week, I'll just make sure I eat blueberries every day. Or this week, I'll read 1 page before bed instead of watching TV. These small commitments are actually giant steps toward preventing dementia. So let's bring it all together. We've covered 5 fruits and how to eat them, along with the habits you need to practice to truly protect your brain. Do you remember which fruits they were? Blueberries, grapes, tomatoes, apples, and citrus. Blueberries are packed with anthocyanins that protect brain cells. Grapes are full of resveratrol that strengthens blood vessels in the brain. Tomatoes contain powerful lycopene that slows brain aging. Apples have quercetin and pectin that support both the brain and the gut. And oranges and tangerines provide vitamin C and folate that boost brain immunity and mood. But none of these fruits will work unless you practice them consistently. The weekly plan I gave you isn't just a suggestion. It's a real, practical starting point that anyone can follow. So, where do you start? With the easiest thing. Put a container of blueberries in your fridge. Add half an apple to your breakfast. Grab a tangerine before you go for a walk. These little actions might seem small, but when you do them every day, they add up. And your brain stays healthier for longer. The most important thing is to start right now. You might be thinking, I'm too old to start something new. Or maybe, I'm already forgetting things. Isn't it too late? Absolutely not. Your brain can change at any age. There are plenty of cases of people in their 70s and 80s who learned new languages or improved their memory. Change doesn't come from your age. It comes from your willpower and your habits. There will be days when it feels hard or you just don't feel like it. But those are the days when small actions matter most. Don't try to overhaul your whole life at once. Just do the smallest thing you can today. A few blueberries, one slice of apple, a 10-minute walk. Those small, meaningful actions build up, and they become the shield that protects your brain. And don't do this alone. Do it with your spouse, your children, your grandchildren. Health that's shared with family lasts longer. Dementia affects the whole family, not just one person. Don't keep this video to yourself. Share it with the people you love. Tell your parents, your siblings, your friends, your neighbors. Hey, I heard these fruits are really good for the brain. Just by passing that information along, you're already starting to prevent dementia in your circle. I truly hope this video gave you something small but real that you can use. If even one fruit on this list made you think, I should start eating that tomorrow, then you've already taken the first step toward protecting your brain. If you'd like more health information like this, please subscribe and hit the like button. This channel is all about building healthy habits you can actually use in real life, not just sharing facts. And if you leave a comment telling me which fruit you're going to start with, I'll be cheering you on. Your memories aren't just data. They're the moments you've shared with the people you love. They're the meaning of your life. Let's work together to protect those precious memories for as long as we can. I'm rooting for your healthy, vibrant years ahead. Thank you for watching.